Welcome once again on prayer series. We are done with series 1, which we dealt with introduction. Now we are on series 2, episode 1. And what we're going to be talking about in this series 2 is root of impactful prayer. That is what we are going to be talking about in this series 2. And this is episode 1, and we're going to talk about the topic faith-filled prayer. And we're going to take our text from Mark chapter 11, verse 24. But before we go into that, I have a full time explained to us that prayer is a communication between a deity and man, between a Christian and his God. Now, I want us to understand that in Mark chapter 11, verse 24, Jesus tells his disciple, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe in it, and you receive it, and will be yours." That is what Jesus Christ made his disciples to understand. There is an understanding that faith-filled prayer produces results that can never be undermined. Now, I want us to go to one item I have here, the power of believing. The power of believing. In Hebrew chapter 11, verse 6, the Bible made us to understand faith is essential in everything any Christian does in this life. When you pray with faith, you are praying in confidence and receiving the ability that a miracle can happen no matter whatever the situation may be. The power of believing is too paramount for us to understand it. We need to know that without faith, it is impossible to please God. If you remember the account of Hebrew chapter 11, verse 6, without faith, it is impossible to please God. Faith is very, very paramount and key to receiving an answer to prayer. And anybody who undermines it has also undermined the power of believing, because faith is belief, and that belief is believing on the deity, which is God you are praying to. And the Bible made us clearly to understand. It says in Mark chapter 11, verse 24, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, and believe that you have it, you receive it." Now, point number 2, asking with expectancy. You must ask God with expectancy, because expectancy, number 1, entails that the person that is asking with a true heart and is believing that the God he is asking this thing will answer him. They that call on the name of the Lord should depart from iniquity. Your heart must be free before you begin to expect. And anybody who is in expectancy does not expect anything other than a result. Anybody who has taken any exam is expecting a result that is void of the best. And that is why expectancy is very, very important and key to receiving an answer to prayer. And anybody that is expecting will also surmount circumstances. If you are expecting, there are certain circumstances that come your way. Things around you may tell you you will not get it. Your problem around the home, brothers and sisters, even in the church, problem that has defied some of medical attention, that has to do with sickness, things that has to do with spiritual attack and all the rest of them. You must surmount those obstacles. That is what makes your expectancy to be high, because God loves those who are bent on results, who don't give up. The Bible made us to understand that Elijah believed in God. He prayed 7 times for rain to fall, and his servant came and said, "I only saw a finger of a man." He now said, "Go and tell Ahab, saddle your horse and start running, because I can see the abundance of rain." And it happened because faith and expectancy is involved in Elijah's prayer. Another point you need to understand, receiving through faith. Matthew chapter 21, verse 22. Receiving through faith. Once you believe in a position, ourselves receives, once you believe in a position, you receive that it will come to materialization. You don't see anything that is less than faith. What you see is faith in what you have ever said. Now, I want us to understand this very clearly. We receive because we have already trusted God's response, because He assured us there will be response. And since He assured us there will be response, the major thing you get yourself acquainted with is I must receive by faith. Because without faith, it is impossible to please God. I want to cap it up by saying faith-filled prayer, as outlined in Mark chapter 11, verse 24, teaches us the importance of believing and asking and being in expectance through faith. And when prayer with unwavering belief has met the promise of God, what you need is an answer, and nothing stops your answer. If you believe in God and you are a Bible-based child of God, you believe in prayer and want you to pray with expectance, and you receive your result in Jesus' name.